Hello, my name is Marcus and welcome to another episode of Tabletop Reviews, where today I'm having a look at the Renjuan Dobbelspel. If you didn't understand that, it's because it's Dutch and I probably didn't pronounce it correctly, but that is Zooloretto the dice game. Yes, Zooloretto is obviously my absolute favorite game of all time. Zooloretto is great, Zooloretto Duel is great. Now I have the dice game version. So let's get it put into the table, see how it's set up and played. Alright, let's just remove these ones and quickly get this game opened. First of all, you have all your dice here. We have it's a bit difficult. It's just, what the hell is that thing doing there? And now my cat runs away. She's probably unhappy about the noise. Anyways, let's get the dice out here. And you have sort of trucks placed in the middle. You have this side for 2 and 3 player and this side for 4 player. Just put it here, and then every player is of course going to get a pad like this. I'm just gonna take one to use as an example. Each turn you can roll the dice, 2 dice, and you can place them however you want to, together on individual trucks. If there is some like this, well, next dice you could choose to form up or split them out. The other thing you can do on your turn is grab the dice and cross it off. Let's say I take these 2 ostriches, then I'll cross off from left to right the 2 ostriches. Then it will be complete, and I'll cross off this one to get a bonus point. You basically keep on going until someone has either filled out all enclosures or there's only 1 space left in 1 enclosure for that person. The game ends, you count up scores. And how you count up scores is every single animal you've crossed off is 1 point. You count up all the bonuses. It's 1 point down all of them, except lion is 2 points. Then each group of coin, well, actually, each cross in here, this is if you have full. Now I've taken these ostriches. If I then next round would take one like this, which is another ostrich, well, it would be a cross off down here to be minus 2 points. But for each group of coins, there's a group 3, group 2, group of 1. You can remove 1 down here, or you can get just 1 point. But it's obviously the best to just remove this ones and get 2 points out of them. Then you count up your total score, 1 point for these ones, or minus 2s and 1s, and whoever has the highest score wins. That's the game. That's how simple it is. Alright, and expansions. Well, actually, before I get to expansions, probably real quick and mention that these bonuses over here, they are only for the first player to get them. The second and third or fourth player, they cannot get these bonuses if someone else has already taken them. Alright, let's talk about some expansions. This one will be the last one. So start off with Affenstall, or Monkey House. So gameplay is basically completely the same. There's a few changes. First of all, there's 2 places for monkeys, as you can see, and the bonus for some of them is a coin rather than a point. And that's it. There's 2 places for monkeys, and some of them give you a coin rather than a point. That's the only change for Affenstall. Baby boom. This is quite different, as you see over here. It doesn't have bonus points or coins or anything, but I have these areas here. And basically it works that the first person to grab something, so this is the crocodile, so the first person to get the second crocodile claims this extra area, and everybody else can't access it like the other ones. And then they can fill out to 4. Then there's 5 ostriches. Then here you have 6 monkeys, but you also have hearts. If you cross out both heart symbols, you get a child, which means an extra space. And it's basically the same on the way down. If you are the first person to claim these extra ones, you're the only one who can get these extra ones and cross them out. In the end, there is an extra way of scoring, which is stars down here based on how many. If you have 1 star, it's 1 point, 2 stars, 2 points, 3 stars, 3 points, 4 stars, 5 points, 5 stars, 8 points. So yeah, and instead of a section of coins giving you a point, it gives you a star. So it's either remove one of these down here or get an extra star. And then you have to make up with yourself, is it worth it or not. And that's basically how Baby Boom changes up the game. Now let's talk about the most confusing and most difficult expansion of them all, the XXL expansion. I'm trying to see if I can remember this one. Basically, it mixes together the dice game and the regular game to try and create something. So you see here, you can have all all animals in all enclosures. Basically, you take your pet and you do a line. So say this is an elephant, and cross. How many elephants I have in there? So you show a case that it's elephants, and you have 3 of them, whatever. And the score's the same way over here. If you fill it out, you get a coin, or 2 coins for this one. And if you have it completely filled, it's 5 points. Yes. If there's 1 missing, it's 4 points. And if there's like 2 missing, it's 2 points or 1 point. For this enclosure, you can access these enclosures down here for 2 coins and 3 coins. You have room for 5 coins, and this time again you can spend them. And you have room for a bunch of down here, but you still score only per species that you have down here. But again, the coin actions are available. You can discard animals down here. You can change around animals from enclosures into the into storage. I'm just gonna say that, and switch it back around. You play Zooloretto but with the dice game mat, and then you again count up points for a total score in the end. And of course, with all of these, coins are the tiebreaker. So yeah, that's an overview of all the games. Let's head back up and check out my final thoughts. We're up here again. Let's talk about this one. So obviously, as you saw there was also three small expansions. Actually one which is called Trio, Zooloretto the card game Trio expansion, but it takes in 3 expansions previously. Monkey House and XXL, and of course, I can't remember already what the last one is called. We'll take that one. Or it's called Würfelspiel in German. Baby Boom, that's the fucking name, Baby Boom. Gotta remember that. Alright, let's talk about it quickly. The regular dice game, I think it's good, it's really good. With these dice, and the very interesting thing is, normally in the normal, all the other games, as soon as a truck has been taken, you cannot retake that truck again. In this one, it's useful again. So if someone takes it when there's 2 dice and you have like 4 dice left, you can create an all new truck and still take that. It is still available to you. I love that little twist to it, where like, now taking a truck doesn't mean that you're hindering others from using it, or putting down to these 2, it opens up the truck again, so to speak. Definitely makes it quite interesting in terms of that choice. Where in the it's a different interesting choice from Zooloretto. I like the rolling of the dice. It's a different kind of random than drawing a tile. I guess it's a little bit more random than drawing a tile. And yet you know kind of what you have here on each die. There is a 1 in 6 chance of rolling the thing. Plus if you draw in here you could. And somehow lions and elephants are more rare than any other of the animals. I don't know how that works. Because I believe they're on all dice. That's just weird. But it's very interesting. This thing about filling it first and you get the bonus, and scoring for every crossed off. So it's not bad to take one, even though the bonus has been taken. But it's obviously best to get the bonuses. I love how it works. There's something weird about like you place the dice and then you cross off. We usually just take the dice, cross off right away. The others can play the game. It's just faster. I don't think it changes anything, and obviously the bonus, it goes to the person that first took it, right? It's a little bit weird to explain in the rules, but it works perfectly fine. Just take the dice, cross it off, it's fine. So it works really well. The coins are pretty interesting, and you have 3 groups, a group of 3, a group of 2, a group of 1, and you work through it, and each group has the same abilities. That is very interesting. At first I thought, with the barn, it's weird that as soon as you've crossed one off, then they're just useful, you've crossed it up all off here and all off in the barn. Now, but that's the same in Zooloretto. If you put them in, then each of a kind is just minus points. So if you get more, it does not matter if it's of the same kind. So it makes sense, it's sort of comparable, right? And when I first sort of realized that, I love that. I love that touch all of a sudden. Also, there's something I think is weird too. I love that touch of taking the original and then making it like that. But I really like this game. Let's quickly touch upon the expansions. Baby Boom is probably the best one. You don't have the bonus, we have all the babies, and it's an interesting thing of crossing off from left to right, and then you hit 2 hearts. It can explode, and that can be into the bonus and crossing off everybody else's bonus because the enclosures are the larger. I can just be finished off the enclosure. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting way of doing it. And of course, again, with the barn, the babies can end up down there, opposite in regular Zooloretto where they can't. They just go lost, right? But this one they can be into the barn, the deciding factor of that. So that's a thing to keep in mind. And of course the bonus here is just you get more animals into your enclosures and then nobody else can. Which is kind of pretty interesting. It doesn't make you scared taking two crocodiles, for example. But maybe that's even a choice, to put 2 crocodiles on a truck and hope someone takes it or you get it. The bonus scores of the stars is another very interesting. It's a very interesting one. You get these stars, but you need to have a lot of stars before it can pay off to take a coin action to get another star, then removing a -2 points, or again just using the stars to get a point. It definitely remove -2 points, or you have to be high in stars. And I don't think you're going to get that high in stars unless you maybe play a 2-player game, and even then it's going to be rare to reach a high number of stars. But it's definitely the one I like the most. It's more interesting, I think, with the more room and the more back and forth lions and elephants. Still very interesting to get a hold of. So I think it's the best one. The next best one, Affenstall, I believe is the German word for it, but of course, monkey house. Instead of all of them giving an extra point in bonus, some of them give coins, and you have 2 spaces for monkeys, one that gives point, one that gives coins. It's not very different. I mean, the lion fits 1 less and only gives 1 bonus point this time, but it's basically the normal game, but this time you get more coins, which is interesting. I mean, in Zooloretto, one of the reasons I love XXL expansion is because it gives you access to more coins, and I think that's very important. This one, not as important. It's definitely more interesting, but you are going to go for the points first. I mean, when I filled out the first monkey enclosure first, I went for the points. I'm not going to take the coin. So it gives something interesting, and you get more coins from it, and I actually think my wife ended up winning because of coins. So it is useful, and it's different, but for this game, coins doesn't seem to be as important. So yeah, but I still think it's better than the XXL expansion. So the XXL expansion, it first off says the same regular rules as Zooloretto dice game and Zooloretto, and I was like, what? So it tries to make Zooloretto the dice game more like regular Zooloretto. You can pay coins to move around, you circle around which animal is in this enclosure, you have 4 enclosures, you have more enclosures. It's not that good. I have to say, that expansion I'm very not happy with. It doesn't do what I think it was intended to do, and I genuinely think this is one of the first bits of Zooloretto content I don't like. It's just a little bit too convoluted. You have to sort of wipe it off, which it's not the thickest of paper, which is not bad. I mean, it's the road on the right. It doesn't have to be, unless you have to erase something. Then the thinner paper, it makes it difficult, and there is no eraser in the box or with it or anything. You have to bring that yourself. If there's one thing I hate, it's when you have to bring it yourself. My camera beeped. What the fuck? No, it's still recording. Okay, it just beeped, so that was weird. Yeah, so XXL, I'm not happy about that at all. Alright, let's talk about components quickly. I talked about the blocks. They're thin, but they're perfectly fine. It's paper, it's decent paper, the artwork makes it all pop, so it's fine. The dice are good, symbols are easy to understand, I have to say that. All the symbols are easy to understand, even if you're a little bit colorblind with the colors and stuff, you can see the difference. Very important, and the pen is a freaking pen, or Kugelschreiber. So yeah, those are the 3 components. They're perfectly fine. They're really good. It's what I would expect from this little box here. And by the way, I'm not holding up so you can see it. So yeah, components are perfectly fine. Alright, does it lie to you? It says right here. 2 to 4 players, 15 minutes, 7 to 99 years of age. So this is obviously just the minimum. I've never had to talk about the height of it. I guess it depends. Like, my grandfather was about 71, 72 years of age, and he had dementia. He would not have been capable of playing this game. My other grandfather, who is 69, he was also suffering something in his brain and stuff, and not really being quite fully there in the last few years. So he couldn't have played it from like the age of like 67, I don't think. So that's just an example. But I also know some dude at 83 who like runs and stuff. He's fully fresh. He would probably play this. So I think that depends much more on the situation than the younger child. And I think this game is very simple, and it's definitely open. Like Zooloretto Duel is very simple. This is also very simple. It's open for the younger generation, which I love about it. 2 to 4 players, definitely. I mean, we played it mostly at 2 and 3 players. Works really well there. All the expansion stuff, it's really great there. Haven't played much before, but it's still really good there. And I think it's 2 to 4 players. It works perfectly fine at all the levels. 15 minutes. Yeah, 15-20 minutes is probably an estimate. If you know the game and you know the rules, it's quickly you roll the dice or check. It goes a little bit faster than regular Zooloretto because there's a little bit less to keep an eye on. So 15-20 minutes is pretty fair. So what am I scored going to be? Well, Zooloretto the dice game is a return to 10 out of 10 for Zooloretto. Yeah, it is. I love it. It brings Zooloretto into a smaller package, a faster package, and removes some of the rules, which is not necessarily a better thing or a worse thing, which is why it's still a 10 out of 10. It's not better, it's not worse. It's just still really, really good. The Baby Boom expansion, I'm also going to give a 10 out of 10. That is a really good expansion. It adds to the game and it makes it a lot of fun. The Monkey House, I'm going to bump that down to an 8 out of 10 because of the coins. It changed into the coins. It's interesting with the 2 lines for monkeys. I'm going to fight it. But because it just gives you coins instead of points, meaning you have an obvious choice rather than actually having a choice. You have a very obvious option that you're going to choose because you want points, not money necessarily. Yes, you could win on it, but that's going to be rare that happens. So that's going to be bumped down to an 8 out of 10. And the lowest rating I think I've ever given to anything Zooloretto XXL is going to get a 4 out of 10. That is the lowest I've ever given. It's not very good. It's a little bit too convoluted for dice game version here. It doesn't do what I think it was meant to do, and it isn't a super fun experience. I have the pad. I'm probably going to play it a bit more, but it's not the greatest experience ever. It subtracts more than it adds to the dice game version and to Zooloretto, which apparently is, do you follow the rules? It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird, and it convolutes a very simple, great game. So that is the lowest rating I've ever given to a Zooloretto type game or anything to do with Zooloretto. Of course, I'm still trying to get a hold of everything. And I really want that 2023 updated new version of Zooloretto. My god, it's just beautiful. But this is Zooloretto dice game. Obviously, I'm keeping it in my collection. It's Zooloretto. I love it. I could throw out the XXL pad and actually get it to close, probably. But thank you very much for watching this episode of Tabletop Reviews, where it was another Zooloretto game, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!